Hey, welcome back to the Psychic Soul Healer channel. My name is Laura. I'm going to do a general message for Gemini. Know that energy is fluid, roles could be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Now, if you're new to my channel, know that I like to go deep, meaning I don't like to just look at what's going on the surface. We like to look at the spiritual blocks, the shadows, see how they play out as karmic themes within your experience. This allows you to see your situation from a different perception, which will also allow you to shape shift your experience to an experience that's going to be more in alignment with what's in alignment with your heart, with what you truly want, with the higher self, not with your wound. See, when we go through experiences that are traumatic, what happens is we form behaviorisms and habits that keep us locked in a limited perception, a disempowering perception about ourselves. So healing is all about being able to see your situation from a different perception by first creating the awareness. So I explain this because the shadow part of ourself is a part of ourself that we have detached from, that we have disassociated from, the part of ourself that we've rejected. And we've rejected because we are looking at it through a negative perception, and we're looking at it through the perception of the experience that made us perceive ourselves or that part of ourselves in that way. So a lot of times we don't even remember certain aspects of what has happened, but the behaviorisms and the habits then become part of us. So that makes that our reality of what we're manifesting, because we really feel like it is us when it's not us, it's the shadow. So if you want to enter into winning a reading with me, all you need to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in the comment bar. The word of the video is aggressive, aggressive. You're going to write the word of the video in your comment bar, and you'll know if I chose you or if I wrote the word winner underneath. If I did, we'll correspond a little bit back and forth on YouTube, then you'll just have to reach out to me at pureenergyhealer70@gmail.com, or correspond a little bit back and forth, figure out the best day and time that works for us so that I can give you your reading. All readings are done live because I believe in spiritual law. What's best for you, the winner, what's best for me, because I get to display my style readings, and what's best collectively for anyone that's on YouTube or outside YouTube that comes across the video. It potentially has the power to help them. The reason why, because these are spiritual readings, and we're a magnet of who and what comes into our life. Even the people and the situations that we don't like, we get what we need to heal and evolve. And when I say heal, I'm talking about evolve into the highest state of consciousness, which is unconditional love. How to get back to this place of ease and love. And that is, again, the opposite of this energy, by the way, of aggressive. Someone that's aggressive is someone that's very in your face. Someone that is like going to get their point across very because they're going to do it in a way that's intrusive, in a way that they're not looking about boundaries. They're just looking at their main concern. And I'm feeling as if you are in separation from someone that you're about to run into. And when you run into them, they're going to be like, have this really aggressive energy about them. And it's going to be because that they are extremely emotional. And I feel like they're emotional because they made wrong choices. I feel like they perceived you from a perception that you weren't. And I feel like that they've been in separation from you this whole time. They've been watching you, so their perception of who you are has changed. So that's number one. Number two, they feel guilty of how they treated you. Number three, they realize they have feelings for you. And number four, they're still not in a good space. So I feel like this person's coming towards you very, like, again, aggressively, but it's not because they want to like control you. A lot of it is because they're very emotional. And as I said, I feel like when people are aggressive, the issue is that they want to make sure that they get their point across. And that's what it is. I feel like run into this person and they want to get their point across. Now I'm going to pick out through the cards why I'm feeling this energy of aggressive. I also believe that they're connected. Your person is connected to aggressive, someone aggressive, and they get very overstimulated. And I feel like you get overstimulated also by very aggressive energy. So a lot of times we're a magnet of what comes into our life. And so when we see a word like aggressive, that's not we're not in a place of ease, right? We're in a place aggressive, almost it sounds like it's when we tackle something aggressively, we're tackling it head on. We're making sure we're getting our point across. We're taking matters into our own hands if that's what it means to be. And so I'm feeling like you are not good with that energy because it also overstimulates you. Well, it overstimulates your person, but your person is actually overstimulated right now. And so, like I said, there's this energy, but you're a magnet of what comes into your life. So you might have had problems dealing with this type of energy, had a parent, a friend, a lover, someone else that tends to have this very aggressive energy, which is someone that has a problem listening to boundaries. Someone that is, again, more concerned about getting their point across, someone that's more concerned about getting their needs met and not really looking at anyone else's point of view. There's almost like bulldozer energy there. I feel like your person is dealing with it. And then when they run into you, they're going to have a little bit of that energy. And I feel like you're also connected to people like that, Gemini. So, like, this energy is all over. Now, we're going to see what the hidden truths are between you and your person, why I felt that energy of aggressive, and what they're going to do and what the triggers are why you're connected to this person. Again, spiritual lesson, why. A lot of times, again, if a relationship is not meant to be, there is always a reason why the person came into our life. Because spirit uses people to teach us, to grow us. So what were we supposed to learn? In order to break a karmic cycle, you have to learn the lesson. Otherwise, you will continue to meet the same type of people and have the same types of situations unfold within your life, which makes you, again, detach and dissociate from that part of yourself. And that is what becomes the shadow. And where there's a shadow, eventually we create a persona because we're not going to expose that part of ourselves that we feel is defective or something wrong with. Even though there's nothing wrong with it, it's like you're looking at it, that part of yourself through a distorted perception due to the situation that you went through, but you didn't learn the lesson. So because you don't learn the lesson, you become a magnet of who and what, again, resonates with more of that energy. That's why it says in the Bible, what you resist persists. The same type of energy keeps coming into your life because you're a magnet. So we say, I wish I could share my good news with you. So you're in separation from this person that I feel like they are making some changes. And that's part of the reason, like the aggressiveness is more of like an excitement, but there's also like nervousness where I feel like this person's all over the place. I'm grateful for the spiritual lesson. I feel like you've inspired this person to make changes in their life, even though you're not in this person's life. But you've made them take a good look at themselves. And really, that's what spiritual relationships do. They make us change, and they make us change for the better when they are, again, ones where we have unconditional love for the person. When we have emotion for the person, it's time for me to heal now. And that's what I'm saying. This person is like you're making them change. And it's because, again, I feel like you really impacted their life. You impacted their life because you, again, don't deal with situations the same way that they deal with situations, that you're different, that you, again, are you're soft, but you're also strong. And there's a sense of, again, that spiritual connection, which is of the heart and mind. I don't think that this person felt like they could get that deep within their feelings and their emotions. And especially when they're around this aggressive energy all the time, it makes them not feel safe. It makes them come from a place of survival. It's like that's what happens when you're always around someone that's aggressive, where you're like, oh, I have to be careful of my boundaries. I have to make sure that I'm protecting what's mine, because the person that I'm connected to doesn't really care about what I want. They care about what they want. Well, like I said, I feel like your person is connected to someone that's like that in their life. And so they don't share everything about their life. And I don't really feel like they've given you the time or real effort either, the energy. However, during the separation, I feel like again that they've seen that you're someone that they would want to be with, that they feel like you're someone important in their life. And that it's again because you're making them change, you're making them heal. Like I feel as if more than anything, this person really wants a friend. I feel like they look around and they don't see anyone in their life that's of a high caliber, someone that is, again, they can talk to about life, their dreams, their goals, their passions, like their feelings. I feel like this person has deprived themselves of speaking of their emotions. They tend to go through life every day like it's Groundhog's Day is a feeling. And so again, there's a realization of that there's love. And there's love because I feel first and foremost, you're teaching this person about themselves. You're also making them change. So do they know why you love them? I feel like it's much more than like physical thing. It's the fact that you're making them change. That and they like what they're seeing. You know, I said that's why spirit brings people into our life. I wish you were here with me. There's a sense of, again, them longing for this friendship and this also companionship and the depth of the connection where I feel like they're just tired of the surface relationship. They're tired of having to be on guard. They're tired of that. But I do feel as if there's a sense of really wanting to talk to you and be with you. And so, like you said, there's a passion here, and they've held back for a really long time. So when they approach you, they're all going to be like a little bit like, I feel like aggressive. Again, divine counterpart. They believe that you are their twin flame. And the reason why is because you're making them make changes in their life that they never thought that they would be able to make. You make this person step into their true divine self because again, they're making those changes. But we have to look and see whether I want to or not. What did this person do? Because what we do see is that, again, this is two different decks. It's like I love you and divine counterpart. It's like, and this person longing for you, but we have to see what did they do, and it's like tired. I think feel like again this person didn't really put in any time, and I feel like they didn't really put in that much time or effort or energy. And the reason why is because they were so tired of because they were around somebody that was really aggressive, where they had to be on guard all the time. And I don't know whether it was family. I don't know whether it was just controlling people. It could be work, people that just pushed their agenda onto your person, and your person didn't have really good boundaries or anything like that. It's like to be strong, and we that's why we get these type people, right? We get people that are aggressive into our life because at one point we had somebody of this personality in our life, and we kind of feel that they made us defective or they ruined us or they did something because of the aggressive energy. And I'm feeling like your person feels like I feel like for a lot of them it's a family that it's this aggressive energy that always overpowers them to make them do what is best for everyone else, but not really best for them. And here you come along and they're like, I see the difference, but they try and talk themselves out of it. But then it's like they really do want to be with you. But at the time, they were tired, and they were tired because they were always on guard. They were always on guard. And then it's like, I can't even think to be in this type of relationship because, first of all, I haven't even been in a normal relationship because I've been in a relationship that's with someone that's extremely aggressive. So the way I dealt with you is kind of like the way that I dealt with that person because I was on guard, but there was also, I was tired, I was exhausted from having to be like that. So I didn't really put in a lot of time. I really didn't put in enough effort either, which is why I feel like you were like, I don't want this. It's again dark side. It's again, so it's like the dark side is that part of our subconscious mind that holds on to trauma. It's the part of our side that comes out through our behaviorisms. And I think that for a long time, it was easy for your person not to get into relationships. After a while, that's what happens when you go into relationships and you keep seeing a bad manifestation, even though you're trying your best, you're treating people the way you want to be treated, but what's manifesting is nothing but hurt and pain. Well, that's what forms the dark side. The dark side is those shadows. And part of your person's shadow was allowing really people to be connected to them that are really aggressive, that needing to like set appropriate boundaries. Sometimes we let these people into our lives because we're codependent. And that's when we can feel defective. We can feel like there's something wrong with us. So we allow this aggressive energy into our life to try to like, organize our life to whatever we're feeling like we're lacking. It's what I feel like your person had this person that was connected to them for a long time. And really, I feel like the love for you that they have, they're making changes. They're making changes which are benefiting them because it's making them look at their shadows. It's making not just about that person, it's making them look at their entire life, but they wouldn't have looked at their entire life if there wasn't this love. It's like, again, yeah, it's making them face it. It's making them face their wounds, do the work because they really care. They really want to be in a committed relationship. They want to change. Because again, escaping. So, and for a long time, I feel like your person, they stayed codependent to like this energy that was really aggressive to them. And they did by, like substances, drinking too much, smoking too much, like doing things to like suppress them so that they wouldn't really, so that they can go along with this energy. And I feel like they've gotten to a point where they're like, I really don't want to do that. I don't, because they kind of put it on themselves to take on the responsibility to like appease this person in their life that's aggressive. I feel like it's like a parent. I feel like it's a family figure. And if it's not a family figure, it's like a mother figure. It's someone that could be someone's baby mama, baby daddy, that's very aggressive, that's very intrusive, like very intrusive, that makes it very difficult for your person to even have the time, to have the energy, why they didn't give you the time and the energy to begin with. And so they were able to check out for a long time to live in accordance to this person that's aggressive because of the consequences. Because remember, a person that's aggressive, they don't care about the other person. They only care about their agenda, what they want to make sure happens. So they're making sure that it happens. And your person got tired of fighting it. God, that says it here. They kind of gave up, where they were just tired, tired of fighting that person. And so obviously they couldn't give you the time and the effort because they were like, again, dealing with that. But all the time they're in their dark side, they're in the shadow self. And that's the thing. It's like, but they're like kind of energetically holding on to you again, saying, oh, I really have feelings. But in order for them to be in that connection, they have to suppress themselves. But this is why they're making changes in their life. So I am happy because it's like they do realize that you are their divine counterpart, but it looks like they tried to make that work. I'm not gonna lie. They tried to make it work and they can't. Dark moods, it's like they can't, because what happens is it's like when they stay, they just get in these depression because they don't really want to be with this person. So they either have to be um wasted, like on drinking too much, doing something to suppress them to make sure that they're out of it, or they're in a bad, horrible mood that you don't even really want to be around them. So, and then they don't really feel good because they were making themselves do something that they don't really want to do. But I'm feeling like, again, that they're connected to like someone that acts like a parental figure. So it's like it could be a mother, a father, it could be like a baby mama, a baby daddy, but then whoever is in their life, that if it's a baby mama, baby daddy, it's bringing up their old trauma that they had with the parent that's not resolved. So there's a part of them that still hasn't risen up and set boundaries. They still haven't done what they've needed to do. They were staying and scared. What it looks like here is that they can't anymore. They're just tired. They're tired of doing it. And it's again spirit addicted. And so this person does not feel safe either, I feel like, where they don't feel strong within themselves because when a lot of times when you have an aggressive person around you that's continuously telling you what they feel, and I feel like again there's aggressive energy, and the aggressive energy is you need to take care of the children, you need to take care of me, you need to take care of your responsibilities, you need to do this, you're a bad person, I'm going to make sure that you do it, I'm going to like the person that's connected to them is aggressive because they gaslight, they again manipulate the environment to get people to perceive your person a certain way. They do a lot of things to keep your person stuck. And I feel like for a long time, your person was willing to stay stuck because it was easier. They were tired. They're like, I'm never going to get away from this energy. It's just never going to be, until they finally really had to face it and be like, is this what my life is going to look like? Like, because I'm always going to be exhausted from being around this person because this person steals my energy. They don't care what I want, they care what they want. That's why, again, they're controlling me. And again, escaping. And so, in order for me to be with this person, I have to like do drugs or have to, again, check out in order to deal with it because I don't really want to be there. For a while I could deal with it, but I feel like they can't. They realize that you're their divine counterpart, that there really is that there really is love. That love does exist, and they're making changes. That's why they're like, I wish I could share my good news with you. I wish you were here with me. It's again where they're grateful for the spiritual lesson. And the spiritual lesson is all about love. But in order for them to love you properly, they know that they have to heal. And they got to a point where they're like, really can't be in this connection with this aggressive person around me that wants to control me, that doesn't care about what I want, that doesn't want to do anything. And yes, I actually tried to make it work, but I can't make it work. So what do I feel that they're gonna do? Well, that one just came out. There's someone keeping me from you. Again, that's that karmic that they're like I said, they're making those changes, but I feel like it's a slow process. I'm making changes for the better, literally fell out. So it's like that's the first thing that I said, that there's someone coming, and then I said I'm making changes for the better. So we see that they are making changes, and that's what it said before. I just feel like it's a slow process because every time a person makes a little progress, that person that's attached to them like is right on top of them. Is so they're I'm afraid of losing you, but see, that's the thing. They're more afraid of losing you than the karmic. And I think in the beginning of this, your person was like too afraid to deal with the karmic. They were like, I don't want to deal with the karmic. I'm too tired to deal with them. They're never going to let me get away. This is just what it is. I don't really see a way out. And even though it keeps me in my dark side because like I have to suppress myself. I have to again ignore what I want. It's just easier. But then what they saw is that the unconditional love that they're like, I can't help it. I'm actually more uncomfortable now from staying connected to this karmic than actually pursuing what I wanted. Where in the beginning I was afraid to leave the karmic because of what they were going to do, the consequences. Now I'm more afraid of the consequences of not leaving, like whether or not you, Gemini, are going to be still sticking around for me. I act like I don't care when deep down I do really do. Yeah, I feel like they do that because they don't want to lead on to the karmic either, that there's someone else. I feel like that the karmic already knows that there's someone else, even though your person's not saying it, because you're usually able to wear this person down, your person down, and they're not able to do that anymore. Like the grip of this karmic is loosening, which is making them more aggressive, which is what is actually making your person be like, I can't deal with this relationship. I actually want to be with Gemini because Gemini is over there having a good life. It seems like a happy person. I can see myself with them opposed to living in this type of situation. And I feel like that is mainly what I'm noticing here. They don't want to let that karmic know anything because the karmic will just ruin everything. Toxicity, yeah, they're around like again, this toxicity. They're not coming to you right now because of that situation. And they're making changes, but they're slow changes. And they're slow changes almost because I feel like your person thinks that it's going to be easier to deal with. Like if it's slower, it's like, but they're just kidding themselves. It's like that karmic is still gonna do whatever they do to your person. Your person just doesn't really know how to deal with them. So they're trying to move very slowly and very calmly. But what they do know is that they do have feelings and they do want to come back. And again, for a long time, they're done with running away from their problems. Again, because they realize it's again the mental health, it's straining them where they're becoming like sick because of this karmic, because they don't trust this person. I feel like that karmic is always gaslighting them, always trying to manipulate them to do what they want them to do. And it worked for a long time. It's not working anymore. But when that happens, when things don't work anymore, people get more and more aggressive. So we have to say, well, some of you are going to be with this person, some of you, by the time this person comes back, you're not, because it doesn't say when this person is coming back. What it does say is they're working on them coming back, and I feel like it's slow because of that karmic. However, we need to ask, why did you attract this person? What are you supposed to learn? You're a mirror of who and what comes into your life. So in order to learn, it's again isolation. One, one more, nurturance. So there's a sense of, while this person is not really giving you anything, you are in this place of isolation. And instead of being by yourself, you should be taking the time to find out what you really want for yourself. Because this person isn't giving you like any nurturance. They're not nurturing you. They're not around. They're not giving you anything. And when I'm saying nurturing, it's like emotional, like giving you something like that's fulfilling you. They can't, because they're like in a situation where I feel like they're in isolation, because that karmic has them like, again, not really like stuck, but was able to manipulate your person for a long time to keep them stuck. They're getting out of that now. However, the whole time they weren't giving you anything. So that whole time you would feel like you were also in isolation, because if you were connected to this person. So it was to give to yourself the nurturance, because maybe when you grew up, you also didn't get the love and the support that you needed, the nurture the nurturing that you needed, right? And the nurturing could be like emotional support, it could be financial support, it could be any type of support that makes you feel safe, that makes you feel supported. This person not being strong would actually like make you again also not feel safe, when really safety doesn't come from somebody else making us strong. It comes from ourselves being strong. So I feel like your person didn't need to stay in isolation. They're emotionally got manipulated to stay in that, where really the message for them is they need to nurture themselves to know what they're deserving of. A lot of times, if we don't give to ourselves and we self-sacrifice and our happiness comes from making other people happy, well, guess what? That's where the karmic's power comes from, because it's really not your person's responsibility to continue to make them happy because they feel as if they should, even if they do have children, even if they do have responsibilities. It means that your person needs to make themselves happy and then also do the right thing by the karmic. But that does not mean give up everything. This karmic's gotten out of hand. They've gotten greedy. It's like you're not allowed to have your life. I only care about what's best for me. And I feel like your person, when they come towards you, they're so emotional because they've wanted to talk to you, but they're a little embarrassed about having someone have so much control over their life. And how the karmic like really twisted their head. And I think that they thought the karmic was actually not capable of treating them this way. And so they're like emotional for a lot of different reasons. First of all, the betrayal. Second of all, from living in toxicity. Third of all, from not treating you well. From not, again, so, and then from looking at how they even are perceiving themselves. So they're coming to you very aggressive because they're just overly emotional. And I just feel like you have been around that energy before, and that intuitively is like you have drama connected to you. And being that you have drama connected to you because you're coming to me all like aggressively and fast and trying to convince me, but of course you're still connected to somebody else and you're connected to a karmic. And that karmic is, again, is all about, controlling you. So I feel like it's about you like staying in isolation, like away from that energy too, and nurturing yourself during the time, because your person is not going to move faster with you being there. They're moving out because you've disconnected from them. They are making changes in their life because you were like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm out. And so the answer for you during this time was to, again, know, like listen to your inner knowing, which you did, and to take the time to nurture yourself. And I feel like because you did do that, and you didn't really fight for them. They respect you, number one, and number two, they're actually seeing the karmic really for who they are. And so um they are coming back, but there's no sign of when they are. And so to that time, it's just for you to nurture, to take the time to nurture yourself. And we ask Spirit, what other energy can we incorporate into this, to be more in alignment? Because some of you people are going to take this person back. Some of you guys aren't, but I'm telling you one thing. They believe that this is a divine counterpart. I believe that it's a divine counterpart because your person is leaving a karmic that is, again, not an easy thing to do because it's going to change the dynamic of their entire life. They're doing that because they're not happy, but it's actually what's the best for them. It's the best for them on a spiritual level because they actually are going back kind of in time to dealing with that original trauma, which is someone that's very aggressive, that's very controlling, that's very domineering, like a parent. And instead of running from it, they're facing it. And they're facing it by, making the changes. They didn't want to. Their old pattern was that they admitted that they escaped. They were too tired to deal with it. They drank, they suppressed it, they lost themselves for a while. They ran away from their problems. It was just easier. Again, but now they've gotten to a point where they're like, I don't really I don't feel good this way. I feel like this is stealing my soul. And that's why they're like, this is actually a spiritual like lesson that they're learning. This is a spiritual, I'm looking for the card because it's actually said it, where it was like, it's time for them to heal now. So that's huge because the healing makes this person like become a clear conduit for spirit to speak, because when we're clear, we don't have those shadows, those spiritual blocks. And it's again the spiritual blocks of feeling like unworthy, of feeling not good enough, of feeling like you have to be controlled by someone. It's like they're grateful for the spiritual lesson. And the spiritual lesson is really that love, choose love. It's like choose love. Like it was obviously easier to stay in this horrific experience for a long time, but what they're realizing is it's as time goes by, it feels worse to stay where they are. So in the beginning, they were like, no, this is going to be too hard to leave. And now it's like, no, it's actually too hard to stay. And learning to love myself. And really that's like what I'm feeling like with your person. The energy is learning to love themselves, that obviously like they have to do what's best for them, not what's best for the karmic. The karmic is someone that's very, very, very aggressive in the way that they handle things because they're always coming from a place of fear. Your person doesn't really show up for them emotionally. They don't want to be with them. It's like, so that's what happens when a person is in a relationship where they're just kind of going through the motions and checked out. And so the thing is, your person's realized, what do I deserve? I deserve to be happy. And that's why by loving self. And I believe for you too, Gemini, you're learning to love yourself because in the beginning, this person wasn't really offering anything. This person, like, now has come around to wanting to give you more. It's again, unlearning who you are because of comparison between you and the karmic, and through observing you from afar and really looking at themselves. But they didn't treat you well in the beginning. I feel like they made the wrong choice. I feel like they made the wrong choice, or they weren't willing to choose you at the time. And now what they're really realizing is it's like, I deserve to be happy. I believe that if anything, your person like was staying connected to a karmic and sacrificing their happiness because it was easier. And what they've come to is that it is not easier to do that. It's actually hurting them over the long run. And that what it's doing is they're not loving themselves because they're not choosing them. And that's what they realize. That's why it says learning to love yourself, that I choose to see the beauty in me. My wealth lies in my nature, like, and my potential. I transform my weakness into strength. I realize that I am a being of light and I allow myself to shine. So your person was not allowing themselves to shine. They were allowing someone else to control their energy for them and being weak about it. Where it's again what this love is making them make changes in their life. Did a reading like this not so long ago, but this it just says a different twist on it, where again that it's all about like coming to a time and being like where you see that when you do the wrong thing, you may not know that it's the wrong thing. Like in the beginning, this person sacrificed their happiness to make the karmic happy, possibly because there's responsibilities, like I said, children, home, money, whatever it is. It was just easier, but they were trying to control it out of fear. And this is that there's real love, and that real love between you and them is overpowering the dominance of this karmic. Like it doesn't matter at the end of the day, like your person's like, I really don't care. I want to be happy. And that it brought this love is bringing your person to heal themselves. Never mind even to be with you in a good relationship. You were the catalyst to make them do the healing that they needed to do for themselves to break away from the karmic and to, again, once and for all, stand up to that parent, even if that parent is coming through as the karmic, because that personality, that aggressive personality will continue to play out. It does until we, again, deal with the personality differently. And what it is that your person never knew how to deal with that type of personality until they fell in love with you. And now that falling in love, seeing their situation now through a different perception, seeing what they can have, gave them the strength to be like, I don't really want this. And like I said, and that is how they're learning to love themselves. So I'm going to leave that there. You're going to let me know whether you resonated with this. And if you did, give me a like, comment the word aggressive in your comment bar. And you'll know if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath. And we'll correspond back and forth on YouTube, figure out best day and time. And then you can reach out to me through my email. I think the email that's up there is Laura Schwalm 70@gmail.com. You can reach out to me at my email to tell me what is the best times and dates that work for you if you are interested in winning a free reading with me. And I wrote the word winner underneath. Then just like I said, reach out to me so I can make sure that you get the link. Because a lot of times we'll correspond back on YouTube, back and forth on YouTube, but then the person that wins can't find the link the day of the actual reading, that they won the reading, and they can't find it for whatever reason. So I always email it so you'll never have a problem. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. Bye.